I'm not drafting a quarterback number 1 overall who won the Heisman to be not awful. I'm drafting him to be the savior of my franchise.
Is Carolina starting to get concerned about Bryce Young? Like, let's be real. Like, I know it's early. This is kind of a knee-jerk question, but I think it's worth asking because you spent high draft capital, the highest draft capital you possibly could, on Bryce Young, and I think he's played as a bigger quarterback than he actually is, but that doesn't mean he's played as a better quarterback.
You're saying, is the organization concerned? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Like, how do they feel?
Anybody, as a fan, as the organization, as the head coach, as a team, like, who is concerned, if anybody? And then what do you do to course correct and maybe bring out some shining spots in Bryce Young?
There's nothing you can do, right? Like, he has to just continue to start this year. I know a lot of people think they'd be better with Andy Dalton. They're probably right. Like, would they be better this season with Andy Dalton? Yes. That's
Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton. Right there. The Toy Story games got me saying names wrong. Right? No, but yeah, he would probably be better, right? The Ginger would probably deliver, but you have to let your rookie quarterback take their lumps. You have to let them learn on the fly. The only way you get better at playing quarterback or learn is by doing it. It's not the same. College and the NFL, it's night and day difference. Okay? You just can't compute the two. I definitely think you're concerned, though, about Bryce Young. And as someone who watched him a lot at Alabama, as a matter of fact, I watched every single snap of Bryce Young's college career. I'm a little worried that he's not that guy. I really am, especially when you look at CJ Stroud and Anthony Richardson. You have to think, if you're Carolina, you can't help it. I'm not saying they should have done something different, but if you're Carolina, actually, I am saying they should have done something different, because before the draft, me and you both said Carolina should have taken CJ Stroud. Obviously, we didn't think he would be as good as he is, but based on the draft profiles, that's what we thought. You can't help but look at the quarterbacks that went behind you that are doing better. Bryce Young looks small out there, but that's not the concern. The concern is really that he's just not playing the game with ease. It feels like he's not getting in the flow as he did at Alabama, where he would just turn his brain off and make plays and really get out there and let loose. It's different in the NFL. They're faster, they're quicker, they're coming to take your head off. He lost a fumble today that got recovered for a touchdown, a scoop and score. That basically cost them the game. You look at the numbers, it's not like they're awful. 25 for 32, 200 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. But I'm not drafting a quarterback number 1 overall who won the Heisman to be not awful. I'm drafting him to be the savior of my franchise. That's just the standard, whether it's fair or not. The thing that they need to do, you asked, is that they got to take the training wheels off of him. They're keeping him contained, and that's the best way I could put it. They're keeping the training wheels on him, and it's not working. Cut him, let him loose, and see what he can do. Yeah, it might go awry for a week or two, but then maybe he'll start playing the football that we saw him play at college. You got to just turn him loose. Similar with what people were saying about Zach Wilson and the Jets. Like, yes, he had been poor, but they were kind of game managing him too much, that he was so scared to make a mistake. I think you're seeing the same thing with Bryce Young, and I think Carolina just needs to see what he can do. You drafted him number 1. Either he can play or he can't. Yeah, but find out. You got to find out.
Yeah, well, we see it all across the league with, like you said, Richardson and CJ Stroud. It seems like going into week 5, you think these guys have the reins on their team. See, you say he looks small on the field. I don't think he plays small like everybody thought he would. I don't look at him when he plays and think, man, that's a small guy. Like, I just don't. I think he's playing up to standards in the NFL, but he doesn't make a ton of interceptions. Like, his first game, he threw 2 picks, but like, it's a rookie coming in. Also against Atlanta, and their defense played really good that game. He's lost a couple of fumbles, or he's had 3 fumbles on the year, but all his stats are 20 for 38, 22 for 33. Today, 25 of 32. He was out last week for an injury, but the stats aren't terrible, but they're not first round draft pick good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's exactly my point, though. That's what I was saying. You're not drafting him to be okay. You're not.
And he was sacked 5 times today, and that doesn't help anything either.
He is not getting any help, that's for sure.
No, he's not. But, as far as like sounding the alarm on Bryce Young, I think it's too early to do that.
Agreed.
But I do think it's time to reevaluate this offense around Bryce Young.
Right. I agree completely. 0-4. You know you're going to take your lumps with a rookie quarterback regardless. Even if he's CJ Stroud, they're 2-2, okay? You understand it's going to be an uphill climb. But it boils down to this. Have I seen enough from Bryce Young to feel confident about taking him number one? I think me and you would both say no, right?
Yeah. I mean,
he hasn't shown me a wow play. There hasn't been one wow play from him all season.
No, there hasn't. I mean, even tonight, Zach Wilson made a couple of plays that I was like, okay, well, there's a second-round draft pick.
Right.
Well, not from Bryce. That's for sure.
Regardless of the outcome, I got to see more wow from the number one overall quarterback who won a Heisman and looked unstoppable in college. Take the training wheels off. Let's see what the kid can do.